There is a silent transaction we all try to make with the universe every single day. It goes something like this. If I read this self-help book, I will suddenly become enlightened and calm. If I go to the gym for 2 weeks, I deserve to see a six-pack in the mirror. If I send a thoughtful, long text message to a friend, they owe me an equally thoughtful paragraph in return. If I am kind to the world must be kind to me. When these things happen, we feel a fleeting sense of relief. But when they do not happen, which is often, we do not just feel disappointment, we feel betrayed. We feel a deep, resentful burn in our chest that says, "This is not fair. I held up my end of the bargain. Where is my reward?" This is the trap of expectation. We walk around like directors of a movie, handing out scripts to everyone we meet. We hand a script to our boss, expecting them to notice our hard work and offer a raise without us asking. We hand a script to our partners, expecting them to instinctively know we need a hug after a bad day. We hand a script to our parents, hoping they will finally understand our boundaries. And when these people go off script, when they act like human beings with their own messy lives rather than actors, in our play we get angry. A writer once admitted that the root of their unhappiness was simple. They were always waiting for a specific result. They were living in the if-then mindset. If I do this, then I will get that. But reality is rarely linear. Our joy becomes incredibly fragile because it is entirely outsourced. It relies on other people behaving exactly how we imagined they would. When you tie your emotional stability to the actions of others, you are essentially handing them the remote control to your mood. Let us call expectation what it really is. It is a double-edged sword. On one side, it can drive us. It gives us standards. But on the other side, the side we usually fall on, it is a form of control. And trying to control things you cannot control is the recipe for anxiety. Think about the pressure cooker of modern life, specifically the American dream narrative we were all sold. This is where expectations turn toxic on a generational level. Think about the tension at Thanksgiving dinner. It often stems from a clash of expectations. Parents look at their adult children and expect a certain timeline. They expect the college degree to lead to the stable corporate job, which leads to the mortgage, which leads to grandchildren. When the child chooses a different path, perhaps a creative career or a nomadic lifestyle, the parents feel let down. They feel their investment did not yield the return they expected. But flip the coin, the children are doing it too. We often look at our parents and expect them to be emotionally mature therapists who can validate all our childhood trauma. We expect them to change, to apologize, to understand the nuances of modern mental health. When they remain stuck in their old ways, we feel resentful. Both sides are holding onto a script that the other person never agreed to read. It happens in the corporate world every day at 9 a.m. You have the manager who expects their team to have the same hustle mentality as the owner. They expect employees to answer emails at 8 p.m. and treat the company like a family. When the employee sets a boundary and logs off at 5 p.m. to protect their mental health, the manager feels disappointed. Conversely, the employee works hard for 6 months, expecting that their silence and diligence will be rewarded with a promotion. When the annual review comes and they get a generic good job and a 3% cost of living adjustment, they are crushed. They spent 6 months laboring under a covert contract that the boss never signed. The resentment builds. We start keeping score. We think, I did X, Y, and Z for you, and you could not even do this one small thing for me. But did they know they were playing a game? Did they know there was a scorecard? Usually, the answer is no. We are projecting our desires onto a screen, and when the movie plays a different scene, we blame the projector. We assume that, because we are close to someone, because they are family, or a lover, or a best friend, they should essentially be an extension of us. We treat strangers with politeness, yet we reserve our worst tempers and our highest demands for the people we claim to love. We do this because we have a false sense of security. We assume they will never leave. We assume our tenure with them gives us the right to demand they change. But here is the hard truth we need to sit with. No one on this earth was born to fulfill your expectations, just as you were not born to fulfill theirs. The heavier the sack of expectations you carry, the slower you will walk. It becomes a burden that drowns your relationships in silence and passive aggression. We are going to look at how to drop that heavy bag, and what happens when you finally stop trying to rewrite everyone else's character arc. When you hand the keys to your happiness to someone else, you should not be surprised when they accidentally drive your car into a ditch. Placing your emotional stability in the hands of another person is the most dangerous gamble you can make. It is guaranteed failure because you are asking a fallible, imperfect human being to act with the precision of a machine. You are trying to debug code that you did not write. The harsh reality we have to swallow is that you cannot change people. You can inspire them, you can support them, and you can love them, but you cannot fundamentally rewire their operating system to suit your preferences. Trying to change someone else is a form of violence against their nature, and it only leaves you exhausted and them resentful. The only variable in this chaotic equation of life that you have total control over is yourself. I had a conversation recently with a friend of mine. Let us call her Jessica. She was venting about her partner, completely spiral-bound in frustration. She told me she was tired of dropping hints. She said she loved fresh flowers on the kitchen island, and even though her boyfriend drove past a florist every single day on his commute, he never stopped. She complained that he did not intuitively know to help with the dishes after she cooked a complex meal. She felt unseen. She asked me, "Am I with the wrong person? Why doesn't he get it?" I listened, and then I asked her a different set of questions. I asked, "Last month, when you had that terrible flu and could not get out of bed, who went to the pharmacy at 3 a.m. to get you medicine?" She said, "He did." I asked, "When you have a panic attack about your career, does he listen?" She nodded. Here is the problem. Jessica was looking at her relationship through a specific lens, the lens of her expectations. She had a checklist: flowers, dishes, mind reading. Because her partner was failing the checklist, she decided he was failing her. She was so focused on what was missing that she was completely blind to what was present. She missed the acts of service and the safety he provided because they did not match the script she had written in her head. We tend to romanticize the idea of the perfect partner or the perfect friend. But perfection is a myth sold to us by movies and social media algorithms. If you wear glasses tinted with unrealistic expectations, you will look at a rose bush and only see the thorns. You will get pricked every time you reach out, and you will blame the bush for being sharp, rather than blaming yourself for grabbing it carelessly. High expectations are a slow-acting poison. They kill your gratitude. They kill your ability to be present. When you demand that reality fits your specific design, you are setting yourself up for a lifetime of friction. A major sign of emotional immaturity is demanding that the world bend to your will. Conversely, true maturity is the radical acceptance of difference. Think about nature. No two leaves on an oak tree are exactly the same. We do not get angry at a tree for having irregular branches. We appreciate it for the shade it offers. Why, then, do we look at the people we love and demand they clone our behaviors and our values? Why do we demand they follow our timeline? The person who is actually making you unhappy is not your boss, your partner, or your parents. It is you. It is your rigid insistence that they should be different than they are. So, how do we find peace? We flip the script. We stop outsourcing our fulfillment. If you want flowers on the kitchen island, buy them for yourself on the way home. There is a tremendous power in that act. It signals to the universe that you are capable of meeting your own needs. If you want a clean kitchen, communicate your needs clearly, or find a solution that does not involve silent resentment. When you stop expecting others to complete you, you become whole on your own. Lowering your expectations does not mean lowering your standards. It means aligning your expectations with reality. It means accepting that people are messy, forgetful, and dealing with their own internal battles that have nothing to do with you. When you finally drop that heavy bag of expectations, you will feel a physical lightness. You will stop looking for what people are doing wrong, and you might start noticing what they are doing right. You will realize that while you cannot control the wind, you can adjust your own sails. And that, my friends, is where true freedom lives. It is the quiet confidence of knowing that no matter what anyone else does, you are going to be okay. If this conversation resonated with you, if you found yourself nodding along, I would love to hear from you. What is one expectation you are holding on to that you know you need to let go of? Drop it in the comments below. Let us start a discussion and help each other lighten the load. If you want to join us for more of these late-night talks, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for the Underdog Podcast. We are here every week to help you uncover the best version of yourself. Thank you for listening. And remember, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself.